Should we say who the big boss is? We shop there. Who's the big box? I was looking at Zillow and I saw a house that I was interested in. I'm the function gal and you're the form girl.
Whoa, I'm not form. I'm beauty.
She knows how it looks. I like things pretty.
Is that people get so boxed in for room use, and I want everyone to open their brains to the possibilities of the uses just for their own home. Today we are sharing design advice that no one has asked for.
We do share advice that no one asked for pretty regularly, but sometimes people are so happy about it that we thought we'd share it with you.
So we are Shelby and Michelle with FHL Design Co. And I believe this advice will actually be something that you want. So let's kick it off with design advice that no one is asking for. Number one is, if I had a builder grade home, I would not fill it with more big box brand things that everyone has to make it more generic, but I would intentionally add character layer by layer through furniture, vintage pieces. I would even go as far as to add millwork, and you can do that very cost effectively. You can put beams in the ceiling, vintage doors.
Yeah, that's what I did when I bought our home. It was a builder grade, actually of a builder grade home from that builder.
Can we say whose?
It was a D.R. Horton home. They've had some bad press lately, but this was a home from 1999, I think.
Yeah.
And it was made for the family, one of the family members, and it didn't have any upgrades really.
Yeah.
And so I came in, I did add beams to the dining room, added millwork to the ceiling. It had a vaulted ceiling in the family room. And then we added just millwork in our bedroom. So millwork is a great way. Also paint. I mean, anytime you have a white box and you paint it something warm, creamy, colorful, it's going to transform that space immediately.
Yeah.
So paint does that.
And a lot of times these suggestions get overwhelming because people are like, oh my goodness, this is going to cost so much money. But I think you can do so much. People really discount and how much you can accomplish layer by layer, DIY, or even, I did a big gut job at my house right when I moved in, but I ran out of money after the kitchen and the bathrooms. Like it just goes so quickly with construction. And so now I'm going back with layer number 2. I'm not undoing things. I'm just adding additional things. And so when you have that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, there's still things. My bathroom's upstairs. I would like to retile those. But they weren't at the top of the list. And so we're 8 years later and all the big pieces of the puzzle. But I just added new woven blinds, woven shades to the living room. I had panels, but I added woven shades just to give another layer and dimension of texture. And so it is a process. But if you come in and you've got 4 white walls and you're just not happy, just begin that process by adding character through things that are unique and special and not from the big box.
Should we say who the big box is? We shop there. Who's the big box? Well,
the Targets, the Walmarts,
Amazon. You look
the
on
Costco's. I don't know if you were. Some people in Colorado, some people in Canada have different big boxes than we have. So just whatever your big box, your reproduction.
Just things that are more common. And that doesn't mean, of course, if you're buying a sofa or something like that, you might want to buy something with a lot of reviews. But if you're adding those other layers, maybe you're doing a buffet or a coffee table or styling accents on a shelf, try to bring in pieces. Even a platter on your kitchen countertop can add so much. Mom has just fun things that just make your house interesting.
Are you thinking about my bowl with testicles?
110%. And it's always a topic of conversation. And so I saw this girl on TikTok and she has a whole series and it's called Make Your House Weird. And I think now there's things
can
where
go too far.
you can go too far, but your bull with testicles is
It's just anatomically correct, and I love him.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So now this is a fun one because I feel like this has been it's been on top of my mind, but it's also a client thing. So number 2, design advice that no one asks for. If I had 2 dining spaces, I would not make 2 dining spaces and have one just not get used because it's called formal. I would have one dining space that would have enough space for my family to use, and then the other space would be either a formal sitting room, a library, and potentially would make it to where it could convert to additional seating at holidays. So I was looking at Zillow and I saw a house that I was interested in. I'm not giving any teasers, but that was kind of what got the juices flowing. I was like, man, I wouldn't need all this dining space. I would make that a library.
Yeah.
Then we had 2 clients that they didn't need full renovations. They really needed help with these new spaces.
One was a formal dining room. She really wanted to convert it to a sitting area.
So we're in process drawing that out for her, and it's going to be incredible.
Great. The other is a client that I'm so excited about just because she has farm animals. But also she has an incredible opportunity for us to come in and kind of help her rethink her space. It's a brand new home for them. And so we're going to take her formal dining that she doesn't use very much. And we're also creating a little bistro dining area in her family room where they do sit and dine. And I put those chairs in the formal on casters so she can pull them into that other space. And that's really where they like to hang out.
Yeah.
So it made sense for this situation to have 2 little areas, but one, when not in use, will just be like more of a little seating.
Yes. So yeah, we're working on those mood boards for both those projects and drawing those out so that those clients can get excited about those solutions. But really, I think what I was excited about sharing this topic is that people get so boxed in for room use, and I want everyone to open their brains to the possibilities of the uses just for their own home. I mean, you can turn a space into a craft room, a library is a dream space. Literally on vacation, which I'm going to share this in a YouTube short and I'll link it down below so it will not be in here in this video. But on vacation, I asked everyone in the family to give me their thoughts on their dream room. And it's so interesting what people will tell you. Like, my brother wants a Star Wars room. Now, we all think that's ridiculous, but if we win the lottery, let's build it for him.
Right. And honestly, I agree with you. It's about livability and how your family functions and what's important to you. And you can have dual spaces if you create and think outside the box.
Yes. I'm the function gal and you're the form girl.
Whoa, I'm not form. I'm beauty.
Well,
you're form. Is it form?
Yeah. Right?
Form and function.
Function.
She knows how it looks. I like things pretty.
No, but
we both do both.
Both.
I would say we both do both.
Yeah.
But you are better at that.
My brain does lean towards practicality first, but that's the cool thing about both of us. Then you kind of land somewhere in the middle. You're not going to get really stunning space that's not practical,
but that doesn't fit.
Yeah,
because you make sure that everything fits well in the space.
Yeah, you need both. But I feel like that probably I think is the most important.
Yes, it is.
Important design perspective.
Yeah.
If you're stuck, you might be there.
Right.
If you're trying to evaluate why you're not making progress in your house, that might be it.
Yep.
I've fallen in love with creating outdoor spaces, and you can see we have come a long way, and it's this time of year that I start to think about how we can do it even better. I was so excited to partner with Aiper on their IrriSense because y'all, I'm ready to water more efficiently, take care of the lawn, the plants, and all the greenery, and keep it lush and fresh without wasting water and really keeping it easy. So what's really cool about Aiper's IrriSense tool is that you literally have an app. It is so efficient. It automatically adjusts the schedules based on weather conditions, and you fully control it by the app. You have a customizable irrigation schedule. It has adjustable irrigation depth. It connects to your Wi-Fi. I mean, the technology is so great. Guys, it really simulates rainfall and prevents soil erosion. The best part about it is the simple setup. It literally takes 15 minutes. You hook it up to your hose and you are good to go. And the app allows you to have history that you can track and see what's going on. Each IrriSense unit supports 360-degree irrigation and is designed to cover one watering zone. You can edit or remap your zone anytime, and the maximum coverage per device is 4,800 square feet. So with this one device at the front of my patio, it reaches all the way back to my veggie garden, which is amazing because then I can use this one unit to cover my flowers, my veggies, and the grass. So super useful with a really far reach. It also has rain detection. That means the device senses the weather and adjusts the watering schedules if there's been a lot of rain or severe weather. And the Texas girlies know how unpredictable the weather can be. You can think you have your stuff ready and set up, and then all of a sudden we're getting a storm. I love that it takes care of that and you don't really have to adjust. One thing I want to mention is the look. I mean, we share home aesthetics on our YouTube channel, so we can't bypass that. What I love about the IrriSense is that it is not an ugly piece of equipment in the corner of your yard. It is sleek, it is modern, but it also kind of disappears, which I think is good because what are we trying to make the star of the show here? The landscaping, the lush grass, the veggies, the flowers. We want those things that are benefiting from this amazing irrigation to actually be the star of the show. So I am so happy to share Aiper's IrriSense with you. If you would like to shop and buy your own, you can head to their website or on Amazon. Link in description.
Okay, so when we were coming up with the ideas for this video, Mom did not want to do this one.
What is it?
You don't remember?
No.
Because we brainstormed this video just a couple seconds ago.
Okay, but I don't know what number we're on.
Okay. Number 3, design advice that no one asked for. If I had a home with dated granite countertops, think black and gold, that, you know,
From the 80s?
80s, 90s, and early 2000s in the Tuscan era, we really committed to this granite. If I had that in my house and I did not have the budget, I would not continue to live with my kitchen and say, one day when I have the money, I'll fix this, because the only way to fix the kitchen is to rip out the countertops. Because that's not true.
Right.
I would, number 1, paint the cabinets. And Wildflower Interiors is such a great example. She did a moody green, and it makes countertops that would be categorized dated look so elevated.
Yes.
So beautiful. Love it. The color that she used is called Algonquin by Fusion Mineral Paint, which I've used Fusion Mineral Paint before too.
Oh.
So she might have DIY'd it, because that's normally a paint that people that update their own spaces use.
Now, I have updated a kitchen when I didn't have the resources, the funds to rip out the countertops, by actually just replacing the islands in a kind of a black soapstone-y looking granite.
Yeah.
And because the brown dated countertops around it just all felt elevated with that contrasting black stone. And it updated it.
Yeah.
Modernized it.
Well, what I liked about Mom's example in she purchased this home. It was so Tuscan. It had the faux finish walls, really orangey beige paint colors. And so that between the countertops and the cabinets being the faux finish, like everything was so niche. And when you painted the countertop or painted the cabinets, the creamy white, and then you did the leathered granite in the island, even with the travertine floors with that wide grout that also falls on the Tuscan, somehow it went from Tuscan to European farmhouse.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So
I changed the vent hood
yeah.
just to make it European farmhouse, and I did enjoy that space for a really long time, but if I still lived there, I'd definitely rip them out.
Yeah, and some things, I think a big thing is that, like what I said, don't just live with it and say, one day when I have money, this will be great. Do small projects that make you feel good about the space. Like, Fusion mineral paint. You can spend a couple $100s to buy that paint. Or I've shared videos showing how to spray your cabinets. Now, I know we're not all DIYers. I've kind of graduated from you've changed me. I'm getting more, I love to hire and hire somebody. But even hiring someone to paint your cabinets is not as expensive as gutting your whole kitchen, clearly. So the kitchen that Mom's talking about was actually our first YouTube video ever. It started the channel. Definitely, we have come a long way since then.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
8 years? Maybe 7, 8 years.
I don't know.
It's a long time ago.
I don't know, but we love you guys.
It has to have been longer than that.
It was 2016.
Yeah.
So 9.
Yeah.
Ish. So anyways, that was a fun kitchen. And although, yes, that was a temporary fix.
Yeah.
It was a solid one. And you loved having people in your house.
Yeah.
You didn't like live in it like, oh, this is temporary. One day, like I'll invite people in. I'll feel confident. Like you shared it on YouTube. You went viral. And we don't know. Was it the design or was it your personality?
I don't know. I'd like to think it was my glorious design choices. No, just kidding.
Okay, next one. Design advice that no one asked for. Number 4, if I lived in a 1960s house, I would not.
You did live in a 1960s house.
I did. I would not roof out everything to bring it up to date. I would actually embrace the 1960s and then add layers from there. A lot of times people, and especially flippers, they rip out everything. And then this really isn't like isolated to 1960s, but I think the 1960s was a good example because for me, when I did my 1960s ranch, that wasn't actually my style. I wouldn't say like in general, I'm not a mid-century girl.
Yeah.
But when I started looking, okay, how can I mix my style with that style versus just my style just pummeling over all the character and richness that the house has to offer. So we've shared a lot of examples of mixing styles in home.
Yeah, I think you can go a little more cottage with that style or that date of home. But I do think that no matter what home you move into, if you have an existing home and you're not building from the ground up, you have to lean in to what it calls for. You can't just do away with whatever that home calls for. You have to embrace the weirdness.
Yeah.
And then create an environment that is, your home, your style, but also embraces.
There is a caveat to that.
What?
So we always like to share that. Like if you're in like a Spanish Mediterranean home, there's so much you can add to that. There's like categories of homes that like there is something to lean into. I will say maybe the 90s and the 2000s.
I disagree.
What are we leaning into?
Well, it's pretty builder grade, if you ask me, like 90s and 2000s. So you just got to add character there.
You're not leaning into it. You're adding.
Yeah, you're going to add.
So
I agree.
It is kind of different. Where the 1960s, like I tried to refinish the hardwood floors instead of ripping this out. Now, they were pretty red. Like, if I was to choose hardwood floors, I wouldn't choose those floors because they were red oak, which people do all the time, but they were red oak,
Yeah.
And then things like there was a telephone table in the hallway.
I love that telephone table.
Yeah,
Molly. Don't take out your telephone tables.
I don't
do
even
it.
know if it's called a telephone table. What is it called?
Well,
Like
it's a
telephone
little
shelf?
niche
Yeah.
with a shelf where they used to set a phone.
Yeah.
And I just think that's such an opportunity to, make that something special.
Yeah. They actually put it in the dumpster and I got it out of the dumpster. So yeah, I just think when there's something to embrace, mix it in with your style. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you bought a house in the 90s or the 2000s, you're probably going to have to add character. Unfortunately, there's not much to embrace, but it is, it's a canvas. It's still a canvas.
It's a canvas.
Yeah.
And you can always take what you love and incorporate it into those spaces, no matter what they are, right?
Maybe so. Yeah. There's always a caveat. I always, you never know. It's the whole point of this video is to have an open mind and to be excited.
Yeah.
Of no matter what environment you're in. So the last design advice that no one asks for, number 5, is if I had a log cabin that I was updating, I wouldn't paint the whole thing white to make it trendy and Pinteresty. I would embrace the moody, embrace the recreation, lake life, wherever we are, and bring that into the home while still making it maybe a little bit feminine, maybe a little bit more family friendly versus.
I think Amber Interiors gave us all permission to really go moody and warm. And I think she just really, that vibe is, I mean, she's not the only one doing it, but I'm just saying it has given us a lot more ideas to create spaces that are super cozy and warm.
Yeah. Well,
and updated.
This
right?
book, I pulled this aside. So I ordered this book for the warehouse sale 2 sales ago. Stephanie stole it. Well, at first I took it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing book. And then Stephanie stole it. And so I ordered more because this is such a great example because it has so many different styles, I think. But look at that. That's what we're talking about. Like, this is still elevated. It's still like, there's nothing, you're not losing something because it's not like bright and airy, right?
And my favorite part about this book's by Stephanie Sabe, I don't know how to say her name, but Interiors of a Storyteller. And honestly, that makes me emotional. Right? Well, the reason it makes me emotional is because our home should tell the story of who we are and what our family means to us and what our friends mean to us. Our full reason for why we do what we do is for the story, right?
Well, yeah, the story of your family, the story of your friends that come into that home, even who lived there before you.
Right.
I hope that I was joking about like looking at Zillow, when and if we ever sold our home, that someone would feel the life that was there for the years that it was before, and it's kind of like, it's stewardship. It's marking that home for.
We've had trouble, though, when we've sold our homes. So we're really, I don't know why, but people come in and they kind of undo some of the great things that we've loved the most. But you guys have had that happen. I know everyone out there who's ever sold a home came back in.
I think that's when you have great designs and other people.
What did we say?
I'm joking.
We should be the architectural review of the universe.
Say that. Like, Mom will look at.
No, I'm kidding. I loved leaning into what other people love. But ultimately, I think some of the things that we appreciate,
maybe other people
do not. And it's okay.
Yeah. It's hard having refined taste, So yeah, no matter what type of house you have, a builder grade, a 1960s, a cabin, a house with multiple dining rooms, I don't remember ugly granite. No matter what, I think you can launch into something,
Yeah.
no matter your budget, no matter if you're calling someone, you're DIYing. I think it's important to put your own stamp on it and celebrate your house, even if it's temporary.
Yeah.
So that's my theme of today's design advice that no one asked for. I would love to know if you like this and if you would want it to be a series. Also, if you want to give me prompts, like what type of house do you have that you would love to know how we would do it?
And what advice would you like us to give you?
Well, then it wouldn't be design advice that no one asked for.
And on that note, we love you and hope you have a great day.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.